What's up, everyone, and welcome into episode number 544, where it is my honor and privilege to introduce a special guest joining this episode, and that is future Battle Creek, Battlejack, and catcher for Murray State Aggies, Brady LaViolette. How you doing, Brady?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Really appreciate you joining. I know that you guys just got done with the first set of games yesterday. How did things go, and are you excited that baseball is back? It's kind of crazy that baseball is already here.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to start last week, but
Really?
it got a lot of snow down here in Oklahoma, but it went good.
Yeah.
We played LSU Enos, number 10 junior college in the country. Took
Okay.
one from them and lost one. We lost one in extras, 2-1 and 11, and we took one 12-7. Second game, it was awesome. That environment was so cool. That facility that they have is awesome. I'm excited for baseball to be back. Honestly, it's just being down here is as much as I could ask for, especially because the weather's
Yeah.
perfect. Being where I'm from, Wisconsin, it's like negative degrees up there, but
Yeah.
down here, it's really awesome. Just the weather and the people and the baseball down here is just something I don't know. I can't even ask for anything better.
Was it a little bit of a flashback to Wisconsin when you guys got snow down in Oklahoma? Was that a little bit of a
Yeah.
flashback for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was the one that people were asking about, like, hey, how do I drive in this? What do we do? Like, what
Yeah.
happens? And then they're like, oh, it's just like summer in Wisconsin right now. It's like 20 degrees. They're like, oh, it's just a summer in Wisconsin. I'm like, guys, come on. It's not
Yeah.
that cold. But yeah, no, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say you escaped Wisconsin and Ohio, and then you somehow get winter in Oklahoma, snow in Oklahoma. So kind of funny, but
Yeah, it
obviously
just follows
uh,
me.
yeah, but truly, like, what a great way to start the season against number 10 in the country in JUCO and go 1-1 against them. I don't think you could probably ask for very much better. Obviously, a sweep would be better, but
Yeah.
1-1 against the number 10 team in the country isn't a bad start, to say the least.
No, not at all, honestly. I mean, we knew we had a really good team coming into this, and then
Yeah,
seeing it kind of pan out the way we do. We got another game tomorrow, an match, but seeing kind of how it panned out, I wouldn't say surprised, but we kind of were like, okay, hey, like we can do this because come
exactly.
down here against a team of that caliber, you're kind of like, I don't want to say like timid, but
Yeah,
you're kind of like afraid to like step into the waters a little bit. But now it's like, hey, like we can do this. This is nothing. Like we've done it before. We can do it again. Like our coach says,
exactly.
you want to beat the best, you got to play the best. So no, it was a
Exactly.
really cool opportunity.
Exactly. I know that obviously you're still kind of going through recovery a little bit, that you'll be back next week. So I'm sure you're probably really excited about that. Kind of get a little bit of up to date on things, but also get a little bit of game action next week to truly kind of start your baseball season.
Yeah, so we got a series against I think Southeast Arkansas, which is the number one ranked team on the other
Okay.
side of our conference. That's gonna be a good one. And then we got a Dallas team on Monday. That's the game I'm kind of hoping to be back for. But no,
Okay.
I mean, I've just been rehabbing. I've been traveling, rehabbing, just getting my swings. Kind of really only hurts when I squat, so
Yeah.
just kind of rehabbing, being careful with that. But I've been swinging, kind of just being around the guys, being able to vibe a little bit, and not be stuck in Tishmega, Oklahoma. But I've been able to get down here and hang out with the guys, room, and we just get to go to get some food, and everything like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to talk a little bit more about like your guys' season, Murray State, Ohio a little bit as well. But before we get
yeah,
into that, just kind of talk a little bit about your baseball career because it's kind of included a few different steps away and like how you became a catcher, like I said in the introduction.
yeah. So I caught when I was really young. We never had a catcher and coach pitch, but I was, one of those kids that like, oh, I want to be a catcher. So, I
Yeah.
kind of ended that position in coach pitch. So I asked like, hey, can I sit back there and catch? They're like, absolutely. So kind of fell in love with catching when I was, like 6, 7 years
Okay.
old. And so I did that. And then I went high school, obviously. I caught, but my first 2 years, actually, I was behind a really good catcher named Cade Milton, who played at UW La Crosse, which is a school in Wisconsin. So I actually played
Okay.
first base on varsity my first 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year. And then I also played for Jerby Academy, which is one of the better travel teams in the Midwest, and I caught for them too for
Okay.
as long as I can remember. So in high school, we were actually really good. We had a bunch of Division One recruits. I was the only catcher my junior senior year, so I caught as many as I could.
Yeah.
But we always were really good, but we just could never reach up to or live up to the hype. We would always lose the game before state to the eventual state champions every single time.
Yeah.
But so I had that, and then I got recruited to Ohio about my junior summer, going into my senior year, really late. super late just
Okay.
because, the portal started to happen and COVID and
Yeah.
everything. So recruiting kind of got all screwed up. So I got recruited super late. But no, I talked to Greg Reinhardt, helped me out, started talking to Kirby McGuire, their hitting coach, who eventually then left for Charleston Southern. So we had a new hitting
Okay.
coach at Ohio. His name is JT Heenan, greatest coach I've ever been around. Phenomenal
Yeah.
coach. Him and Kenyon McWilliams, also a hitting guy, but a catching guy too at Ohio. So those two were phenomenal at Ohio. We had a
Yeah.
tough year though. We had a really tough year. So they kind of wanted to clean house, brought in a new coaching staff and everything. And so felt like, hey, I don't really fit here with this coaching staff. We kind of had a conversation like, hey, I mean, do what's best for you. So I entered the portal.
Yeah.
I was in the this summer I played out in Boston in the Futures League for the Westfield Starfires, which was
Okay.
a phenomenal summer league. But while I'm playing out there, Coach Bjorling kind of just followed me on Twitter, texted me. We talked for a while. Loved the school, loved the coaching staff, loved what they could offer me, and I was like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. They're like, hey, you're gonna have a huge opportunity to catch about 40 games this year for us. And
Yeah.
I can't turn that down. You can't turn down a bunch of baseball, really
Yeah.
good baseball at that, especially
Exactly.
especially at this level and trying to, what they can do to get you to another 4 year too. So I mean, I just really couldn't turn that down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know that you said you started catcher at a really young age. Like you were kind of the one that really wanted to be in the backstop. And I know you played first year freshman and sophomore year. When did you know like that you were kind of meant to be a catcher? Like was it something that just kind of like attracted you towards like the position? Was it kind of like being involved every single play? I know you specifically mentioned like one of the reasons why you ended up going to Murray State was to play 35, 40 games. And as a catcher, you're going to be involved in every single play. And if you're a really good one, you're going to be playing almost every single day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like being involved in the action. I love I mean, every pitch, you can't take a pitch off. Like, if you're
Yeah.
playing shortstop, right? I mean, you're going to get a ball maybe 6 times a game. Maybe you get a ball 10 times a game. Maybe you don't get a ball at all. But
Yeah.
at catcher, I mean, you're getting a ball every single time, whether you're going to catch it or not. The ball's still coming to you, so you
Exactly.
have to be ready. You also get to command the field, like just be a leader. I think that's a huge thing. I'm a huge talker, so I enjoy being able to talk on the field and being able to lead and everything. So to
Yeah.
me, that was also huge. I mean, I was a big talker when I was little too, so I guess that hasn't really changed. But one of the things I liked about I thought the gear was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I thought the catching gear was cool, so that kind of attracted me to it. I was like, oh, that looks sweet. I'm gonna try and do that.
Yeah.
And then as I kind of did it more and more, I've started to fall in love with the position. So
Yeah, so what is it like suiting up as a catcher and just how does like your mindset change when you put on the gear? Because you specifically mentioned like that's one of the things you really enjoyed really early on. There has to be a little bit of a mindset switch or change that you have to have. Probably maybe not thinking exactly the way you thought when you're younger, especially like, yo, the gear is
yeah,
really cool, but
yeah.
like there's still kind of that little bit added on to it that truly kind of started from the very beginning.
Yeah, no. I've actually been reading this book called The Atomic Habits by James Clear, and
Okay.
it talks about like having a certain stimulus that you do, like putting in your headphones that automatically makes your brain locked in or something like that. For me,
Yeah.
putting on that gear turns a lever, like makes something click, right? I put on the gear and I'm a completely different person. I'm not a person that
Yeah.
needs to get hyped up for games. Honestly, I need to like mellow out for games. So I just, throw on headphones, stretch, whatever. And then as soon as I put my gear on, it's a whole different mindset. It's a, hey, let's
Okay.
go. I'm going to be that leader. I'm going to be the rock that the pitchers look at. I'm going to be the guy that has the level, even keeled emotions. I don't want anyone to be able to tell that, hey, I'm having a great game. I'm having a bad game. I need to be even keeled and being able to put on like the leg guards and then the chest protector
Yeah.
and the helmet and everything. It just kind of like just resets all my emotions and helps me be even keeled and just puts me in that right mindset. So
Okay.
honestly, I think the Atomic Habits book put it perfectly. He's like, as soon as you put something on, it clicks in your brain, and you just feel like a different person. You know what you're doing in that set of amount of time in that set of space. So as soon as
Yeah.
I did that, I was like, hey. As soon as I put on the gear, I'm like, hey, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to do.
Yeah, like you have to mentally like lock in, like
Yeah.
it's game time. Are you one of those players like I know some these are more like pitchers kind of, but like are you one of those players when you're like completely like locked in, you go in the dugout, you just kind of sit there by yourself and like focus on it? Because I know you said like you don't want to be necessarily told like, oh, you're having a great game. Like you're just completely different when it comes to game time.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, for a little bit, yeah, I like to be by myself, kind of like I like to visualize, I like to think. But
Okay.
I also love to be around my pitching coach, and my pitcher, for
Yeah.
that game, just so I can, get a feel for them, talk to them, hey, what's working, hey, what's not. Here's what the other team's like. Here's what the scouting report says. Here's how we're probably going to go after them, and hey, what can I do for you to as a catcher to serve you better as a pitcher? Is my target need to be better? Or
Yeah.
hey, what's feeling good today? What's not? And then being able to just talk to my guys, keep the energy up a little bit, just to be able to be that leader and that rock. So yeah, I like to sit around a little bit, but I mean, for me, I need to be able to talk to people and just like be that
Yeah.
leader.
Is that one of the things you really like about playing the positions, the leader, the communication, truly the kind of the relationship you have, not with only the pitcher, but also the other players? And then are there some things that you don't necessarily like about playing catch? I know obviously it takes a toll on your body. You black a lot. There's tipped pitches all the time. Like it's just kind of a part of the position, or is it more of like, hey, like I realize like those things are kind of a part of it, like it's just like there's not really anything you don't like dislike because you're just kind of accepted that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I like having the being able to have the relationship with everybody because I mean, I'm the guy that they look to for trust. I'm the guy that they look to for everything. I have the relationship with the umpire, right? If they get screwed on a call, it's my job to be like, say the umpire's name is Tim, like, hey Tim, we got to have that both ways, or where'd you have that one? I'm
Yeah,
kind of the liaison between my teammates and the umpire, or my coaches and the umpire. So I honestly, I love having that relationship and that responsibility. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, it getting hit by fastballs and stuff. I mean, that stuff hurts. That's
yeah,
kind of a crappy reason, or things that go on when you catch. But honestly, I love the grind of catching. I mean, for me, I guess the one thing is like kind of gets skimped out of BP sometimes.
yeah,
You got to catch bullpens all the time, so you don't really get to hit BP all the time. But other than that, I mean, I love the grind. I love getting beat up. I love the feeling of that. I love the feeling of, stealing a strike, doing all that stuff.
yeah,
But like just the gritty stuff, you're all dirty after a game, but you know that it's worth it because you guys won. You didn't let a ball get to the backstop. I
yeah.
mean, for me, I love the grind. I love the grit. A lot of people are like, oh, that's like too dirty for me. It's too down on the dump side for me. I love it.
Yeah, it's like a badge of honor, right? Like
Yeah. Oh,
when you have a
absolutely.
good when you know
It's
you
a
have a
great way to
good
describe
game,
it. Yeah.
you don't let anything pass you. Like it's probably the next day, probably the next couple of days is probably not going to feel great, but like knowing that you're a really big part of a team's success, like calling pitches. I don't know if you guys necessarily call pitches at Murray State. I know some schools do, some schools don't, but just being
We
a
use
big part
we
of
use
it.
the pitch com from
Okay.
the dugout, but we're also a huge part of like, hey, here's what I'm seeing from their swings, or here's what I think we should go here. This counts. So it's a great like kind of working relationship between me and my pitching coach, Justin LaViolette. So I mean, it's awesome. But yeah, no, just it's like a badge of honor, like you said. There's really no better way to describe it.
Yeah, and then obviously, like you said, you catch a lot of bullpens, right? Like you get to know the pitchers really well. You probably get to know the other catchers really well, but then it might not necessarily lead to hitting as much, which I know a lot of people really enjoy hitting, but it's just kind of a part of the position.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy hitting. I love to hit. I hit as much as I can. I'm kind of like a weight room rat or and a cage rat. Like I
Yeah,
don't get out of the weight room. I don't get out of the cage. Yeah, and like you said with relationships with the other catcher, it's like my roommate's the other catcher right now.
okay,
He's my best friend on the team. So yeah, we're really tight. But yeah, like you said, I mean, hitting. Yeah, I guess it kind of comes and goes. You
yeah,
look at catching position in the major leagues, and like, hey, play defense, and if you hit above 250, you're the best catcher of all time.
yeah,
But I mean, I take pride in trying to hit, right? Like that's what's going to get you recruited out of a 2 year to a 4 year. That's what's going to get you to
exactly.
play, right? If you and your buddy have the world's best defense, but one of you can swing it better than the other and slug a little more, then you're going to go there. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, missing on MVP because of bullpens is kind of like it's not something you can control, but it's the work that you can put in after, like getting the
yeah,
cages at night or after that. That's what you can control. And that's something that I also do enjoy about the catching position because it talks about the grind, right? Like you got
yeah.
to find time to go hit on your own. You got to go find time to do stuff. And the grind for me is one of the reasons why I love catching in baseball in general.
I was just gonna say, out of any position, I'm not saying people don't put in a ton of time because they obviously do. Like you have to at the college level, especially like at any level, like D2, D1, D3, JUCO. Like there's a reason why there's college athletes. But if you really think about it, like as a catcher, you probably put in the most amount or really close to the most amount of time because I'm sure you probably get texts or phone calls from your pitchers that saying, hey, can you catch a bullpen out of practice for me, or can you stay like 10, 15 minutes? Or you might go from like catching a few pitches to catching 30, 40, 50
Yeah.
pitches. Like I'm sure, like you said, you're kind of like a cage rat a little bit. Like you
Yeah.
probably feel like you're at the facility all the time.
Yeah. I mean, especially for junior college practice, we're there from like 12 to 5. And then, if we don't get to hit that day, then we're there from 12 to 7 and then we lift or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get, we get asked to catch bullpens, like around our class schedule. They do a pretty good job with that,
Yeah.
kind of helping us like not catch a bunch, but spreading it out. But yeah, no, we'll get guys that'll be like, "Hey, can you catch my 5 pitch flat ground?" And it turns into a whole complete game that they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to work on something," and they're sailing
Yeah.
stuff and doing all this stuff, and you can't really tell them no,
Yeah.
unless it starts to get too egregious, and then you get sick of it. You're like, "Hey, let's get off the mound."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, you get to catch a lot, but you start to get used to it, and you start to really enjoy it because then you get to work on your craft. You get to work on receiving, which is my favorite part of catching. I love stealing a strike. So being able to work on that and doing all that stuff is fun. But I guess the one downside is, when they start spiking pitches, they're like, "Oh no, it's working. You can see the shape." Yeah, no, you can't. But like telling them all that stuff. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, but like how do you enjoy it? Because I know a lot of people would look at that like being from 12 to 5, 12 to 7. Like it's another job. And then you obviously have academics behind it. And then just how important is recovery after that and realizing that, hey, like recovery is even maybe more important than the time you actually put in. Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to
Yeah.
play.
I mean, my dad, I'm gonna give kudos to my dad. He drilled recovery into me from a really young age. He's like, "Hey, get your sleep, eat
Yeah.
right, take your supplements, do all that stuff." Like, I mean, he's talked about eating right. He talked about, drinking cherry juice. Maybe that works. That helps. Magnesium,
Okay.
taking magnesium pills, that's awesome. But getting sleep is a huge thing. He just drilled
Yeah.
into my head. So, I mean, I got a band here, like a Whoop that kind of tracks all my stuff, which I think is really important as a college athlete. So,
Yeah.
it's a shameless plug for them. But they I don't know. I just think that recovery for me is huge. We have a great trainer back at Murray State. Her name's Rhonda. She does,
Okay.
electric stim. She'll massage, scrape, anything you need. And the coaches know how important recovery is. They're like, "Hey, as soon as
Yeah.
practice is over, get in the training room, get in the cold tub, get in the hot tub, all that stuff." And I mean, I just enjoy it. I enjoy the grind. I enjoy being there just because you're around everyone. You're around your teammates, right?
Yeah.
People say you don't go to a junior college to play school. You go to play baseball.
Exactly.
So I live, eat, sleep baseball. So being around the baseball field, that helps me enjoy it, right? I'm there for 5 hours, but in these 5 hours feels like a half hour. You look up and sometimes the days you're like, "Oh, this is it almost over?" And it's 2:30. Then other days you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's already over." And you're
Yep.
like, "Well, I feel like we just got here." So I mean, I just being around the guys, being on the baseball field, that really helps me enjoy it.
Exactly, and being at a JUCO, right? You have to love it. Like, not every single JUCO is like that has a ton of really nice facilities. Now, there's are some JUCOs that do have a ton of nice facilities. There are some JUCOs that put a lot of people on 4-year colleges. I know, obviously, you go to Ohio, you kind of experience like the D1 kind of like lifestyle D1 kind of like facilities, and now being at a JUCO, like there's a little bit more probably a grind that goes into it than maybe when you were at Ohio, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, our facilities at Murray State are phenomenal. We have a whole indoor with 2 cages and a
Love
whole
it.
infield. It's awesome. We just
Yeah.
got built. We're looking to get a baseball only weight room in there. We got locker rooms in there and everything. Our field is beautiful, so our facilities are awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just one of those things. Just like going from a Division 1 to a junior college. I mean, you kind of get your eyes open to like, hey, oh, we have to set up our own field now. We don't have
Yeah.
student managers. We don't have this. We don't have that. But I think that's what makes it almost better. Is like, hey, you got a taste of where you were.
Yeah.
Okay, you're back down here. Keep playing, keep fighting to go get that taste. That's kind
Yeah.
of like what I keep telling myself. Like, hey, like you got a taste of not having to do your own laundry at the field. All right, so let's keep fighting. Let's get back up till you don't have to do your own laundry at the field anymore.
Yeah, it's motivating, right?
Yeah,
Like you're one not only trying to see if you truly love baseball, which I think everyone kind of at college baseball truly loves it because you kind of have to not only get there to that point because you have to put in so much effort, you have to be so good to that point, and then once you get there, you like you mentioned, it's a full-time job. Like you have to
yeah,
love it, but there's kind of that motivation factor behind it that makes you want to get back to a D1, a D2, a different level of baseball to kind of get those little things that you had before, but like it's almost kind of like the chip on your shoulder type mindset. It's like, hey, like I want to prove myself again that like, hey, like I can be that type of player,
exactly.
and that when a team gives me the opportunity after Murray State, which I'm assuming is a goal of yours,
Yeah,
then I know that like, hey, I'm going to be the hardest worker. I know that I've grinded for 2 years, and I'm going to prove them that this is the right decision. I'm not saying you were a hard worker
yeah.
because I know you were at Ohio, but it's just a little bit different now going from a D1 school to JUCO. You kind of need to have a different mindset and a different like chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it. I came at like getting to Murray State for the first 3 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to prove to them that I was good enough to be at a Division 1 level and that I
Yeah,
didn't come back down because I wasn't good enough. I put too much pressure on myself, and I honestly I struggled at the beginning. I really did. But then once I realized like, hey, I'm good enough. I don't have to prove it to anyone.
yeah,
Then I started really calming down. I started really performing really well. But yeah, you're right. There's like a chip on your shoulder. It's like, hey, I'm just gonna get back there. I'm gonna prove people that just because I came back down doesn't mean I can't get back up there.
yeah,
And then once that chip on my shoulder was there and I started playing with it, everything went away. I started getting some texts from some Division 1, some 4 years. I'm like, this is awesome. And now,
yeah,
that's kind of on the side after the fall. And now we're really focused on let's go win a national championship and then
yeah.
see how many guys we can send to a 4 year and show people that, hey, Murray State is the spot to be at.
Exactly, and kind of playing on a team like Murray State that is expected, or you guys have goals of playing really well. Like you just went up against number 10. You just beat them once, they beat you once. That shows that you're right there. What's the chemistry kind of like playing with guys that not only are really good, but have kind of that chip on your shoulder that wants to get to the next level? Because it's different, but I also think it might make it easier to come together because everyone has the same goal of getting to the next level. It's not like it's just different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, like everyone has that same goal, so it makes it really easy to play with people that have the same goal. You all want the same thing, so you're all fighting for the same thing to win a
Yeah,
national championship, and then to get to that 4 year, and everyone knows colleges aren't going to really look at a bad baseball team, right?
no,
You could have really good individual baseball players, but a bad baseball team, they're not going to really want that. If we can all play well, our stats are going to be really good, and colleges are going to love looking at really good baseball teams because they're going to realize, hey, this is a good baseball team. It has to have good baseball players.
yeah,
Like our coach said, like, hey, you don't have to get a hit every time, but if we have a quality at bat score of a 60% a game, like 60% quality at bats a game, we're going to win a lot of baseball games,
yeah,
right? And schools are going to look at that and they're going to be like, this is awesome. So being able to push ourselves, having guys like Brady Taylor, Chago Barham, Tanner Norman, all these guys, Isaac Gamble. I mean, I could list probably 10 guys right now
yeah,
that um, have the same kind of goals and aspirations and everything. And having those guys just push each other every single day in the weight room, on the field, in the classroom, off the field, because we all live together in dorms, so we're all super close, super tight. So having everyone push each other all the time
yeah,
is something like it's like kind of unrivaled because you're at a 4 year, you got some guys living in dorms, some guys living in off campus and houses. We're all together in a
exactly.
dorm room every single day. We see each other probably 20 hours out of the day.
Yeah.
So being that tight, being that close, it's awesome. It's a whole different level.
Yeah, like seeing each other that much, you kind of have to
Yeah,
like each other a
yeah.
little bit, and also
You don't
being
have a
a
choice.
JUCO. I was just gonna say, you don't even have a choice. I'm sure there's probably some like butting heads every once in a while, but
Yeah,
also like being a JUCO, right? You're traveling so much, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about it is sometimes like those road trips are like the coolest opportunities to truly like become like even a closer team. Like sometimes playing away from quote
yeah.
unquote your home crowd. Like you specifically mentioned, like the games you guys just played at, the crowd, the atmosphere was awesome. Like that has to be one of the greatest feelings is going into a place like that, getting a win, but then also still having the memories of competing and traveling with the guys to hopefully, like you said, eventually reach your goal down the road.
Yeah, I mean, we had just a crazy long bus ride to get down here. We drove from like 9 o'clock, stopped practice, and then got here like 7:30 on Thursday. So, I mean, yeah, the memories are just awesome. There's really nothing I could say. I could have count on two hands how many memories I have and things I look back on and tell my kids like, hey,
Yeah,
I did this with this guy, did this with this guy, and it was awesome. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, the memories of being down here, and I mean, it makes it better, beating teams. Like, it makes the memories really a lot better beating teams. But no, I mean, it's really cool because, like I said, the atmosphere down here is, I don't want to say better than what we're gonna have at home, but I mean, the fans down here, they love baseball, they adore
yeah,
baseball. It's a little bigger of a city than where we're from, so just seeing all these crowds, seeing this brand new facility they have, like the mini Alex Box, mini LSU stadium. I mean, you're playing in there and you're beating them, and they kind of look stunned.
yeah.
And though, like you seen the look on their faces, you're like, this is awesome. So like, it makes that bus ride back home or back to where we're gonna go get food tonight, or in
Yeah,
our room. Then these conversations, it makes them 10 times better. You can sit there and laugh. You're like, hey, did you see that shortstop's face when Brady Taylor hit that home run and his mouth was wide open? He's like, this shouldn't be happening. So you can sit
yeah.
there and just make fun. Like, I don't want to say make fun of, but like sit there and just laugh at stuff like that happen, and that again, that brings you closer.
Exactly. And you also have a front row view to all like being in the
Yeah,
backstop. You see everything, like especially when they're hitting. Like if your pitcher's throwing extremely well, I'm sure that there's probably moments where the hitters are extremely frustrated with the umpire are extremely frustrated, and like you said, like you still don't like want to like laugh at it, but I'm sure there's probably a few times where under that mask you're either chuckling or smiling a
yeah.
little bit, especially after if your pitcher throws a nasty breaking ball.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll do it all the time. I'll like he'll throw a pitch, like Tate Domi will throw a pitch, and I'll catch it, and I'll just hitter will be like, oh my gosh, like what was that? I'll just start laughing, and
Yeah.
like this is great, just being successful and like watching hitters be frustrated. That makes me happy as a catcher because he knows my pitcher's doing his job, and I'm doing my job as a catcher,
Yeah.
and we're just working in sync. And I mean, like hearing them walk back to the dugout, they're just cussing up a storm. They're like, I don't know what to do. Like they're shoving against us. Like, what do we do? I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably the best thing I can hear as a catcher.
Yeah. For you, when you're catching, would you rather prefer a pitcher that like just has like nasty like breaking balls, like that's really good, like they don't necessarily like throw a ton of fastballs, or would you rather have someone that can throw like a 95, 96, 97, 98, like someone that just throws hard? Like which one do you kind of prefer because they're a little bit different?
I mean, selfishly, probably the guy that throws hard, but it's really
Okay.
straight. So it's easier to catch.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got guys throwing like 92 going like this, 87 mile an hour cutters, everything. So like so again, like selfishly, I want the
Yeah.
things that are easiest to catch, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously high delo's not easy to catch, but it's easier to catch than you're throwing 92 that's sinking with 24 horizontal.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, I mean, the stuff's really good. Like the
Yeah.
breaking ball stuff's really fun to catch. It's really fun to watch swing and misses, but then it also gets really hard to catch sometimes when it's really good. So,
Exactly.
selfishly, obviously, I'd love the easier stuff to
Yeah.
catch.
Have you had like a welcome to college moment or like a specific like moment in college when someone just threw something, either like maybe like a miscommunication or just something like moved a little bit more than you thought and it just like took you out of it or like it just like surprised you or just like maybe like a welcome to college moment like behind the plate?
Yeah, I don't know if I have one behind the plate. I know I have one hitting though. So I was facing a guy rehabbing off Tommy John at Ohio. His name is Zach Weber. He's at Ohio
Okay.
State now. He was rehabbing. I caught him all spring rehabbing or whatever. And I mean, my first live at bat against him was my first live at bat like through 3 months.
Yeah.
And he throws first pitch, he throws 95 that has a horizontal movement of 24 inches. So it literally starts at my front hip and goes all the way across the plate. And I like swing and I'm like I don't know how I didn't hit that, and then I realized that it's the batter's box. So it's kind of like one of those things like, hey, there's levels to this. Like I'm a true
Yeah.
freshman. This guy's legit. He's in the Big Ten. Like there's levels to this.
Yeah.
And I'd say I had one. I had one. This winter actually, I was catching a kid named Ethan Pogg. He's from Green Bay, Wisconsin, where I'm from, and he's at LSU now. He was like a junior college All American last year at Iowa
Okay.
Western, and so I mean, I was just catching his bullpen, and it was pretty hard to see in there, and I'm missing everything. I'm like dropping stuff. I can't see anything, and I'm like, and then I try and catch someone else from a different school, and it was easier, but I'm just like kind of one of those things like, oh, this is like high level stuff. Yeah, welcome to it, right? Like if this is
Yeah.
what you want, this like you're gonna have to try and struggle like being able to not see to catch like this high level stuff. But he was like 97 from the left side with
Yeah.
89 on our changeup, all that stuff that you got to have to pitch at LSU. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like you said, there's different levels to it. Like there's certain pitchers that like like probably MLB or MLB
yeah,
draft
yeah,
is
yeah,
in their future, right? But like that doesn't mean like not everyone's a good pitcher, right? Like everyone's a good pitcher at kind
yeah,
of the level that you play at, but like there's certain type of pitchers that you're like okay, like for example, Michigan State last year, Joseph Jurwa.
yeah.
Like I think he's like 6'7". Not trying to do the joke, obviously, but like there's just certain like different level of pitchers, or if you want to talk of specific pitcher, like Paul Skeens when he was at LSU, like there's just certain level of high level pitchers that I'm sure isn't the most easy to catch, but I'm sure that for you, like if you ever got the opportunity to catch Paul Skeens, I'm sure you'd probably say yes.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. I mean, obviously, I'd probably look silly the first time trying to do it, but I mean, that's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
But no, high level pitchers around my area from back home, we had like 4 guys getting talked to get drafted in my own conference back home in high school. Craig
Okay.
Cabot. Noah Weck, Ethan Plug, and Avery Duncan, who was on my high school team. So we had four guys, all power four arms that were talking about getting drafted. So, and they were all on my travel team, actually, GRB. So being
Yeah,
able to catch them and face them almost day in and day out, like my team was always getting the best arms. We were always throwing the
yeah,
best arms. Um, just so seeing them day in and day out, hitting wise and catching wise, I mean, it just made me better. Obviously, it was challenging. I had some days
yeah,
where I wanted to quit baseball, and other days where I'm like, hey, why am I not in the major leagues? So,
yeah.
but yeah, like you said, the challenging guys are always the most fun to play against and play with.
Yeah, but doing that also obviously prepared you for college. Like obviously it helped you in Ohio, helped you at Murray State, and obviously as you work your way back from injury, it's going to help you going into the season. I know that you have big aspirations for this season. You mentioned the national championship, obviously as a team goal. Do you have any specific goals that you want to achieve, like certain like batting average, or is it mostly like hey, if we win the national championship, you'll be pretty happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the national championship's the goal, right? I mean, I'll always be happy with the national championship. That's my one goal with everything.
Yeah,
Individual goals, I'd say just probably be like an all region guy.
yeah,
Hopefully get some 4 year looks, but honestly, just win the national championship, win our region, win our conference. That's what our main goal is right now.
yeah. And I'm assuming probably the goal after Murray State, like you specifically mentioned, is to go to a 4 year school and then hopefully maybe have a future, get drafted, play baseball for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the plan. Just go to a 4 year and then, kind of see where it goes after that. Maybe play professional baseball. If I don't, oh well. Not a big banana ball guy. It's probably gonna cross that one off the list. But
Okay.
yeah, no. Go to a 4 year, or go to play professional baseball after that's the goal.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, I know some people go the banana ball route. I know there's some people that do that. Some people like, yeah, not necessarily my thing, but you are going to kind of get a little bit of an opportunity to do something like that. Not exactly, but the team just announced the Battle Creek Battle Jacks that you're going up to Battle Creek this summer. How excited are you for that? And well, obviously, after you get you back on after you start playing up there for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm actually super excited. So funny story. My pitching coach at Ohio, Tim Brown, he's the pitching coach for the Battle Creek Battle Jacks now.
Okay.
And he called me. He's like, hey, he's like, do you want to play in the Northwoods? And I was like, oh, absolutely. He's like, well, I got a team. The first guy I thought of, let's go. And I was super excited.
Yeah.
And coincidentally enough, I have a bunch of my extended family lives in Lansing. So
Okay.
they'll be about 45 minutes away from me. We'll get to play in Green Bay a few times, which I'm
Love
super
it.
excited for. Getting to play in front of the home crowd and play in front of my parents and everything. So honestly, I couldn't be more excited to play, 72 games in 76 days or whatever
Yeah.
that number is, that crazy number is. But just be able to, kind of have that true college summer ball atmosphere and feeling, it's something unlike any other.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also a little bit of kind of a taste of like what a like professional baseball player goes through, right? Like there's so much travel. You play almost every single day. I'm sure you probably won't necessarily be catching every single game because I'm sure that would be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if you probably could, you might even agree to it, but probably not the best idea.
Not quite, no, especially summer ball. But no, I'm excited for that travel. I'm excited to be able to get around the Midwest a little bit, especially playing Wisconsin. Growing up, I was always before the Green Bay Rockers, it was the Green Bay Booyah and the Green Bay Bullfrogs, and I was Green Bay
Okay.
Bullfrogs were like 10 minutes from my, not even, sorry, 5 minutes from my house. And so I would always grow up, watching those games, and I'd be like, oh, I want to play in that league. Like, so playing in the Northwoods has always been a literal dream of mine. So being able to do that and having the almost have that professional experience where you're on a bus trip for 7 hours and you wake up and then go do it again.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that I'm really excited to experience. I know a lot of people don't get to, so I'm super grateful for it and just gonna kind of take it day by day and see where it goes.
Yeah, kind of like a full circle moment for
Yeah,
you
for
as
sure.
well. Like it's like I grew up watching this and now you're going to get the opportunity to play, get an opportunity to experience a little bit. I know some teams dance a little bit, so you might have to do a little bit of dancing in the Northwoods. How are you feeling about having a little bit of that? Or are you going to mostly be like, it's just part of it and I'm just here to have a good time?
Oh, it's summer ball. You got to embrace it all.
Yeah,
I in Boston this past summer for summer ball, I did our promo for the Star Wars nights. We did a cool little jersey promo for that and like a video.
love it.
So I'm all in with the social media stuff and all the dance
Okay.
and stuff. So no, it's summer ball. You got to ride the wave. You got to go with it. You got to go do what you can with everything. Play baseball. Have a good day, and then you get the
Yeah.
day off after you're done catching, and You go have fun. You sit there, talk with your teammates, talk to the fans a little bit, dance, do
Yeah.
some of the mid-inning promotions and all that stuff. So you gotta take what summer ball gives you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a good time. It's a fun time. I know the Northwoods is a great league. I'm sure you're gonna have a ton of fun in there. Would love to have you back on after you start playing a little bit of the Northwoods. Maybe after the season we can have you back on. But I know you have to get going here shortly, so I do want to wrap up with this one last question. What has baseball taught you, and how has it shaped the person that you are, especially the whole idea of being a catcher and the whole idea of having to be a leader and being physically and mentally tough?
I mean, like you said, it's taught me to be a leader. It's taught me how to be tough physically and mentally. Like I can't make excuses for myself, right? Like I
Yeah,
mean, everyone's up there watching me. If something goes bad, the eyes are going to be on me. So I can't make excuses. My body language has to be really good. That's something I preach. To our
yeah,
pitchers and the other catchers here is like, hey, body language, right? Like they
yeah,
can't see that you're doing really well or that you're doing really bad, even keeled all the time. And baseball's just taught me time management. Like
yeah,
being at practice all the time. I mean, me and a bunch of buddies are sitting down there doing homework on our off day because we got a bunch of that stuff to do. So we got homework, time management, how to take care of yourself, your body, like emotionally, physically, mentally, all that stuff. Because obviously, it's not easy playing baseball, especially a game of
yeah,
failure. So you really got to learn how to deal with your emotions in a positive way.
yeah.
I found reading and writing really helps. Honestly, so like just being able to like, have outlets and stuff. And then baseball's also taught me to go find a hobby outside of baseball because baseball's
Exactly.
not gonna be here forever. So go do something fun with your life. Go find a hobby because you struggle at baseball. You don't want to go back and think all about baseball all the time. So go
Yeah.
find a hobby. My hobby is I watch a lot of movies. I'm a kind of a movie
Okay.
geek, um, so that's kind of my thing. I like to decompress. I'll watch movies or I'll write, stuff like that. So baseball just taught me a
Love it.
bunch of stuff.
Going to put you on the hot seat real quick because you said
Oh
you're
boy,
a movie guy.
yes
Top
sir.
five movies, in your opinion.
Top five. I think number one is the Dead Poet Society
Okay.
for
Love
sure.
it.
I think it's a clear cut number one. Dark Knight Rises,
Love
Batman.
it.
Um, this is a pretty bad movie, but I'll watch it all the time. Is The Hangover? Like The
Oh,
Hangover's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great,
It's a
funny
it's a
movie.
pretty bad movie, but I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, The Covenant is really good. The Covenant, it's
Okay.
a war movie, really, really good. And honestly, Band of Brothers. Band of
Yeah.
Brothers is also those are my top five. I'm not like a movie critic, but those are
Yeah.
my top five.
Love it, love it. I had to put you on the
Yeah,
spot
no, I
because
get you.
you're like I'm a movie guy, so how to get a top five. I know you said that's kind of something that you enjoy. Do you ever see yourself getting into golf after baseball? Because I know that's a pretty popular kind of transition.
I'm pretty bad at golf. I just have
Pretty
my
bad.
teammate back
Okay.
here just laugh at me because he's a huge golfer. He's a pitcher, so that's all he does. They
Okay.
throw him and
Yeah.
they golf, but now I'm a pretty bad golfer. I'll probably try and get into it.
Yeah.
And spend an egregious amount of money on lessons and everything to try and get myself good. But as of right now, not at all because I'm just not good enough at it.
Yeah.
And I get really frustrated at things that I'm not good at. So
Yeah, well, like you said, you're at the cage from 12 to 5, 12 to 7. He's probably at the
yeah,
cage like 12 to 1, 12 to 2,
it's
and
bad.
then you spend so he has all the time to golf, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you'll probably have plenty of time to golf in the future after your baseball career is done. But I know still got a little while left to go with that. Still got this year, still got a couple of years down the road, still got the Battle Jacks as well. So really appreciate you joining, man. Really hope this was fun. Hope this was worth your time, and would love to have you back on in the future. Hopefully, I did a decent job on my end asking some questions.
No, absolutely. This was awesome. I had a lot of fun. I was able to talk baseball. Can't really complain. You did a great job, and I'd love to be back on.
Absolutely. Really excited to see how you do this year. Really excited to see how your team does. Really hope you're able to accomplish the goals you want to accomplish, win a national championship, get a ring as well. Maybe you'll have that ring next time you pop back on if you guys win. But truly, the best of luck this year. Best of luck at the Battle Jacks as well. Looking forward to hopefully have you backing on in the future. But yeah, that is a wrap to episode number 544. Thank you again to Brady for joining, and tune in to the next episode.